99.7 Bridge FM, you're on Australian Made with Big Jon, Black Whiskey and Wild and Free, and I have the boys in the studio. We had them here earlier in the year, just before the crazy pandemic hit us, and I've got them back in the studio to have a chat about what's been going on. How are you, boys?
Good.
How are you?
Thanks.
Now, a little birdie told me we have a birthday boy in the house.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Turned 21 yesterday, I do believe, Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
You'll go with that?
Yeah.
Happy birthday for yesterday, mate.
Thank you, mate.
You day spoiled you rotten, mate. I hope you had a good day. My birthday's next Wednesday night, so I'm having a night off and going out for dinner and the show. I'm not going to worry about the show. That can go in automatic mode. Now, I see your song Whiskey Rock and Roll is going well here and in the US. You guys must be stoked about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's doing really well. It's been really surprising how well it's done, especially on the heels of Wild and Free.
Yep.
We thought, yeah, we've got a great one with this, but then Whiskey Rock and Roll came out and it just took a bit longer.
Yep.
But it's starting to really hit around the world now.
It is. And speaking around the world, I also see that you guys have fans in the UK and they get to hear it on this massive playlist that a UK radio station's done. It must be a great feeling to know that your music is hitting the two biggest music scenes in the world, the UK and the US. I mean, come on, guys, that's bloody awesome. So you must be stoked.
Absolutely. It's a bit surreal. You sort of sit there and in our studio writing songs and you think, yeah, that's pretty cool, can't wait to get up and play it live.
Yeah.
And then you release it and all of a sudden it gets picked up and the momentum just keeps building and yeah, we're absolutely stoked.
Have you been doing a lot of publicity over there, or is it just that they've just picked up and run with it, or?
Pretty much just picked up and run with it. We've basically just the social media side of it. And that's about it, really.
Wow.
We've got no publicists. We've got
wow,
no
you don't
PR
even have a
people.
publicist?
No.
Wow, that's amazing then, to get into the two biggest music scenes in the world, mate, and not even have a publicist, that's saying something about your music, I reckon.
That's perseverance.
Perseverance. And it says something about your music. It says that, you know, you guys have got a good bloody thing going on there, so, you know, they're obviously enjoying it, and they're playing the absolute death out of it, which is great.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you know,
we just love to write the music that people love to hear.
Good. Well, that's good. That's what it's about. Writing about experiences and all that sort of stuff, and sharing it on stage. Well, when you can get on stage. Now, what have you guys been doing since lockdown? Been writing much? Recording? Just tell us what you've been doing.
A lot of you want to take.
Yeah. So before all the COVID sort of stuff hit, we obviously had shows and everything lined up there, and unfortunately they got postponed until next year. But which is good. We still got the shows coming through. We're just unable to play them until 2021.
Yep.
So what we've done in the meantime is we've been back in. We've written the new album.
Oh, new album.
Yes. So
fantastic.
that's done. But
recorded as well.
Not recorded,
but written.
But written and done. But we keep writing
demos.
So,
and what can we expect from that album, guys?
A little bit of the same.
Yeah. The same.
But there's some surprises in amongst it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a really cool ballad.
I was going to say, have you got a bit of a ballad?
Yeah, there's definitely the ballads going on it, and there's another one that we've got coming up that's more of a. I like it because it's a bit of a jazz sort of feel to it.
It's very different.
It's different. Yeah. It's not a Wild and Free tour or anything like that. It's really different.
But it shows you our writing ability.
Yeah.
That's happened like between all of us over the last 2 years.
So that's what I was going to ask you. All share the writing. It's not just one person writes and you all do it together.
What happens in the sense is either Dan will come up with a riff or I will come up with something.
Yep.
Give it to the boys in the studio. We come up with a jam that day, walk away and go, okay, Dan's done this, sends it to me, have a look at see what vocal melody and lyrics we can come up with together, and then go into the studio and start playing it together.
How long have you guys been together?
Our first show was late 2018.
So it's only been 2 years.
Yeah.
So to be able to, I mean, it's hard to get a group of blokes together and be able to work together like that and not, butt heads and all that sort of stuff, and bring out the quality of music you guys are bringing out. That says a lot too. That's a tough thing to do.
And the beauty of it, there's no lack of creativity here. Like I can sit here and honestly say that we've written 2 albums in the last 6 months.
That's fantastic.
And so and these songs, they're nothing like Wild and Free and Whiskey and Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
We've stepped up another level.
So are we expecting another album early next year and then a tour to follow? Is that what we're going on with here?
The albums, the whole thing hinges on when we can tour.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because we don't want to bring something out and then find out this is going to be going on for another 12 months. It's like how long's a piece of string at the moment.
It pretty much is,
Because
yeah.
what we really want to do is bring the album out and tour it.
Yep.
And not just here, we've been looking at overseas as well.
Good.
But then again, it's just the travel thing.
yeah.
We were
Yeah.
supposed to be on a plane to Sydney today. That didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting out of the border and then getting back in is another question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a tough, it's not easy at the moment.
And a big expense.
And it is a big expense, you used to be able to fly down to Sydney for $50 or $100. Now it's like $300 or $400, $500 one way. I'm like, it's crazy.
And the crowd restrictions in venues don't help either.
No.
So there's really no point going to Sydney, doing 2 big shows down there, and what could have been a couple of hundred people was reduced to 50, maybe 100 people due to the size of the venue.
And the money's just not there for it either.
Yeah.
That's not going to cover the expenses of getting down there and all that sort of stuff. So it is a tough time at the moment, and they can't even dance.
No.
Like, I've been doing the Battle of the Bands thing down here at Bramble Bay for the last couple of weeks, and it's going on for the next few weeks, and it's hard. People want to get up and dance, and but the security's running around like mum and dad. No, sit down, you can't dance. It's hard, I feel sorry for the bloke because everyone wants, they start getting a few beers and they just want to dance and party. No, mate, just
Wait till it's all over. It's good. The venues are just going to be tough.
Oh,
it's
mate.
going to be like being back in the 80s again.
It is, I reckon. The place is going to come alive again, and let's just pray that we don't get a second or third wave from everyone going out and partying. So I think we just have to see it through till after Christmas, and then hopefully next year hit it big and get it all going again. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, talking about that, is there anything? I did notice on your Facebook page that you may have a couple of gigs coming up. Is there a gig this year?
There is one.
Touch wood.
There is one.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
It's only a small one.
Only a small one next month.
Yeah.
With,
It'll be great to get back on stage, do
Oh,
what you guys
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Definitely.
Because you do miss it,
Absolutely.
especially when you play weekends and things like that, and it really takes away all your time, and you make it realise that we've been playing every weekend, and what do we do now, sort of thing. So that's why everyone's writing and recording and all that sort of stuff. How is the recording going? I saw you
really
recording it the
well,
other day.
actually, really well.
It's all coming together well.
Yeah, we'll go into our studio and we'll have an idea for a song.
Yes.
And by the end of the session, we've got 3 songs. So
Just keep
let's
coming out
change
with
that.
songs.
Let's keep that bit for another song. We'll tack that bit onto the 3rd song that we've been sort of working on. So
Bit parked over there for a while and
yeah,
come back to this.
yeah, that's right. So the creativity's there. It's just putting it all together,
Putting it
and
all
we
together.
all really work well together.
Yeah.
Everyone's been
Well, that shows in your music. I have to say that.
Yeah.
It shows in your music,
And we all enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I've seen you guys performing on stage at the Rockin' for the Home here last year, and you put on a fantastic show. So,
Yeah, thanks.
and it's just, like I said, it's hard that we can't get out there and do that sort of stuff at the moment, and it's hard. And it's hard for you guys because people who make a living out of this are the ones that are getting knocked around at the moment. They don't have any, job seeker payments for them or anything like that, or especially the roadies and all the back end guys. They don't get anything. So
it's a massive industry. And
it is a
really
massive
hard.
industry, and I think it's made us wake up and realise how big it is of an industry it is, and how much we need to look after it.
It's not just the bands
No,
and the sound guys.
that's
you've got
right.
Everyone else.
It takes a lot of
between.
people to put those people on, put
That's
you
right.
guys on stage,
Absolutely.
and I think everyone's realised that this during this whole thing. I think we've realised a lot of things, but it's great you guys are back out recording and doing some stuff. I can't wait to hear your new album. I think it's going to be fantastic because your last one was fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Whiskey Rock and Roll. What's it all about, and who wrote it? And I mean, you all wrote it collaboratively.
Yeah, we all wrote it together. It was one of those songs. I was just sitting down one day. And it was just one of those riffs that just come in your head, and just started. Okay, where are we at? Like, what should the song be about? And then it's about us, whiskey, and rock and roll.
Whiskey and rock and roll.
Whiskey and rock and roll. You can't beat those two things.
Can't beat those two things. eh?
Plus, with the added bonus of adding some ladies into the song as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get it on and let's have a listen to it. All I can say is I can't wait to see you guys back on stage, and doing your thing. Good luck with the recording, and please come and see us when you finish recording, because we'd love to get it on the station and get it into the rotation here. And we'll make sure that we play it. Every week I've been playing, always play local bands on my show. That's the one thing I very strongly want to do is make sure that I play local artists, and so I'll make sure that you get on the rotation here every week or every couple of weeks at least. But come back and says, why don't you guys introduce your song for us, Blasky. I've had 2 Mets whiskey, that's my problem. Introduce your song for us, guys.
So here's Black Whiskey's Whiskey and Rock and Roll, and if you want to hear it live, we've got a gig next month at the Flaming Galah.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Where are you next? Sorry, that's what I was going to ask.
At the moment,
Yes.
Flaming Galah,
Flaming Galah.
with Concrete Palms and Dead Hand Blues.
Yes, Dead Hand Blues, and that's whereabouts again?
Flaming Galah,
Flaming Galah.
which is
Top way to Branson.
Yeah, right, Upper Rome Street.
Yeah.
Up around Australia, and I'm dare saying they're going to have to book
Yeah,
to get in. So rock
got
up
the
on the
COVID
doorstep.
plan,
Yeah, get in there, and if you want to go and see them, get on there and do it. And also you can check them out on social media, of course. You're on Spotify, you're on iTunes, you're on all those sorts of things, Facebook, all that sort of stuff. So make sure to do it. All right, here's Black Whiskey with Whiskey Rock and Roll. Thanks, boys. Good luck.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much. Yeah.